the time to hopefully see their Deus Ex Machina version 42. And I've been involved in various streams, and I'm a Brit, as you may know from the accents, and I live in London, and I get involved with the games and shit, and I'm in my 30s, even though I'm a very handsome man. So just have to deal with the triggering effects of that.
I'm gonna lose my shit.
What happened?
I'm watching the boss fucking interview. I'm losing my shit. I am laughing. I'm dying. The guy just said, "Oh, I'm more handsome than everybody else." I just stopped. I went outside and laughed.
Oh God!
And I just came back. I just came back, and I saw you were wearing a hangout. I was going to type shit, but I saw you doing a hangout.
Yeah, I'm doing a live stream right now.
Are you doing a live stream right now?
Yeah, yours.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. This is my reaction when he said, "I'm more intelligent I'm more intelligent than everybody else."
Like, oh yeah, I'm part of the 0.001% of the most intelligent people on the planet. I just wanted to take my fist and punch my monitor right there.
He's the leader of Gamergate, guys.
Yeah, he represents everyone here.
It wasn't me, because that would be a true thing if I'd said it. So I don't know who said this, but they're talking shit.
So if we're still doing introductions, my name is Yvonne. I also go by Musicat. I like to lurk and say hello to everybody and just generally be friendly.
Sounds disgusting.
Yes, because that's who I am. I am disgustingly friendly.
Ew.
That's an interesting combination of words. My name is thoughtful_salt on Twitter. Most people know me as that writer on 2-stash.com, which is sadly going defunct, or maybe we don't know. We don't quite know. Plans are in motion. But I am a documenter of GG history, and I shall be writing a book on this whole affair. And I like to think my opinions are hilarious and well endowed. So there.
That bad.
Everybody's doing introduction. Fuck, I just joined so randomly. I'm
You didn't
Sonic, I
know.
do videos and shit. And I react to fucking YouTube channel for no fucking reasons. And I'm a fucking normal fag, so...
He's not that normal.
Yes,
from
he's
our
known
side.
as Sonic. Mr. Sonic.
I'm Sonic! Mr. Sonic.
Sonic says.
Sonic
Don't
sex!
Don't touch it.
When
Don't
boss
touch it.
When boss is talking to you, just go to an adult or someone or police nearby because it's no good.
Had to be said.
What is wrong with you people?
I have
Everything
no
is wrong
clue.
with us.
I can't. I just watching that fucking. I'm like 60 minutes in on the video. I'm like, I cannot handle the stupidity on this dude. So Gamergate is about game journalism. Ethics about game journalism. No, it's about making games. What? When?
I thought it was about gay journalism.
I haven't seen this video, and now I want to watch it.
It's all about epic gay journalism, folks. I mean, come on, some of those men on the front covers of those gay mags are just unrealistic. There's body shaming. Like, if I go in a club, and I go to a gay club, I'm not going to... Look at this fucking belly. I'm not getting any dick tonight, am I? Come on. Unrealistic standards. That's not true. I do very well.
I just hope I
Never
can.
said it's not-
Even though there's a lot of dropping in frame rate right now in the OBS, hopefully we got all this.
Because you got a shitty computer.
It's gold.
Yes, I got a
It's
shitty
gold.
computer.
It's a secret job.
Little Gamergate, guys.
Yes.
More handsome than you.
Can't-
I'm more handsome than all of
And
you.
intelligent. And also...
Very nice of you to say that about me.
I think we're all handsome in our own special ways.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the interviews?
Unfortunately not. I saw two. There's been like two streams on it. There's another stream that's on at the moment which has been talking about it. It's like I only have so many eyes. I need to clone myself. like Dr.
I
Manhattan.
I watched the one with Vox Day. They really went toe to toe with each other over these things. Like, God.
Yeah, I watched both of them, the one with Vox and the one with Christina Hoff Sommers, and you know, I just want to unsub from Pac-Man.
I just say, you know what I'm saying? That David Pac-Man is just trying to be relevant.
Trying
Well,
is the key
I
word.
did see someone tweet to say, "Oh, well, he's lost progressives because of sort of," and that is kind of his thing. He is on that side of the fence. Not that I'm some raging fucking conservative or anything. I consider myself fuck all you guys, but that's just me. But yeah, I can understand where that's coming from. Like, if you're losing your core audience, what do? You go Super Saiyan Fox News, of course.
Hmm.
Of course
Well,
you do.
this is the same guy who said that Not Your Shield seems like a I'm not racist but situation to him, so the warning signs were there. I mean, why did we expect any better?
How he can be racist? He's a Mexican Native American.
Speaking
Actually,
as an
Vox
Aboriginal,
Day
I'm
said
offended.
that. Vox even said that.
Really?
Yeah.
He fucking.
He's a
I'm a
Mexican
Mexican
Native
Native American. They do exist.
I gotta watch this.
This does exist, even though he's a lunatic. He's cool.
I'd recommend watching the interview on a monitor that you don't plan on using anymore and need to throw it away. That way you can punch it when you're done.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm lacking in monitors of that sort, so I guess I'll just have to handcuff myself or something.
Yeah,
I'll just wrap my
watching
mouth in
that whole
duct tape.
interview, it just was disappointing because all they did was talk about how what is your views on rape? What is your views on
Well, my
feminine-
view, I
What does that have to do with Gamergate?
I know, it's like
Dutch angle, slant your head, and then that's my view on rape. Dutch angle. It's
it's
very
like
artistic.
how is all about Gamergate anyways? He was going to talk about he could have talked about sad puppies and explained the whole issue with sad puppies.
He
Instead,
also
he
believes
kept
in
asking
he also believes in white supremacists.
yeah.
Oh my god.
I have to say, now I've seen the guy, Mr. Sonic, I have to say yes.
Well, we never said we'd attract the most attractive allies in Gamergate. Let
Yeah.
me just say that. Sometimes you gotta deal with the cards you've been dealt.
Yeah.
And if one of our cards happens to be a Joker, oh my god.
Well,
have
we
to
could
deal with the
have
Joker.
we could have asked David Pac-Man to interview We Know Who. Let's
Miss
see.
Pac-Man.
No, not Miss Pac-Man. Gordy Tate.
Ah, yeah, well,
I would love to hear an interview from him. Just to see that David Pac-Man would just tear a new one against him, and everyone would hate
remind
David
me.
Pac-Man for it.
does
Look,
remind me there was
this is
the,
this is some of the tweets with you know who's Icer?
yes.
She's saying, boss, saying most people are idiots. David just sitting there, trying so hard. The next is saying, David just sitting there with the will of 10,000 gods, just trying to not tell boss, trying so hard. She's laughing so hard, she gotta throw up.
All right, let me go ahead and see that tweet.
Right, it's interesting you mentioned Jordy Tate because it reminded me. I mean, this must be going a few months back. I mean, probably back in October when he one of the few times I ever tweeted it because there was some conversation going on. He was talking about
Leader of Gamergate, guys, more
gas
handsome
everyone some shit.
than
It's
you,
like, well, yeah,
and intelligent. Yeah, I'm
God.
showing this right now.
Trust me,
I
I'm
already
way
took it.
more handsome than any of you, and I'm more intelligent than you.
No, see, I already claimed that. I'm more handsome than all of you and more intelligent than, well, some of you anyway.
This is one of the recurring problems. This is one of the recurring problems of Gamergate. Sometimes you just get a lot of idiots, just wandering around.
that's just a problem with life in general. I find.
Yeah, I guess.
It just tends to do that a lot.
I can.
Sonic? You okay, Sonic? You still there? You still alive?
There's no way in hell that this interview is that about only 50 minutes in.
It's that bad. It really is that
Yeah,
bad.
David Pakman was trying so hard.
Look at the fucking title, it's so clickbaity. Boss Day says some races are smarter than others. Gay is a bird defect.
Yeah,
Definitely
it's like
baiting.
debating with
That
him
is-
over that.
That is so fucking clickbaity, man.
Yeah,
Actually, I would say-
he
I would
tried
say
to
that's
ask him those
feedback,
questions about his views on gays and everything. It's like, oh man, how is all this happening in Gamergate?
How does this relate? Well, I mean, tangentially, yes. I mean, obviously there's this feminist undercurrent, but at the same time, what does this have to do with Gamergate?
Yeah, it's like, what do the gays have to do with Gamergate? Well, it's because, it's a divided issue on gays. I don't get it.
Well, I have to say though, that what he's implying, defect shaming, which is implying.
It's like they even brought up the question about does being blind and deaf is a birth defect? Yes. And he brought up atheism. He even brought up atheism as well, about religion. Is atheism a religion? No, it isn't.
Atheism is a religion.
Atheism is not a religion. It is like he tried to ask him that question. It's like, what? Who the heck would do that?
Asinine question.
You know, if I was these guys and I had to redo this interview before it ever got to air, I would just post a lawyer on the edge of the screen holding a "do not air" thing in front of the camera the whole time.
Yeah, I would
It's
probably.
like,
I
none
would
of these
probably
words
do
are meant
this.
for air.
I would probably ask him if I was David Pakman. I would ask him, was Zoe Quinn raped by Gamergate? I can see this happen because it seems that Zoe Quinn went all the way to Europe, and I'm just curious, was Zoe Quinn raped by any chance? Chances are she couldn't have been raped, but why would you send her all the way to Europe just to protect her?
Do you not know about us Europeans? We're notorious for being rapey.
I thought you guys were very nice. It's like, why is Zoe?
It's unbelievable. We're all like Vikings. We just rape and pillage all the time.
Oh
It's amazing
yeah,
that
historically,
any sort of
yes, I
society-
heard about that. There was the whole Viking thing, raping nuns.
That's just
It's all the terrible people in Game of Thrones have British accents too. So.
Yes, they all do.
Oh my god, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Shit, I'm laughing so hard.
How bad is it?
I can't. This is my fucking throat hurts.
Oh man, these people really got to be out of it. They are going to be happy.
My size.
Right, just apply emergency. Get a belt. This is what you do. Through your sides leaving. Get a belt. Get it round quickly. Tie that belt real tight. Your sides will stay attached.
Oh my god. This is so good. This is as good as fucking Law and Order.
Yeah.
You know, I actually haven't seen that episode yet. I've been
We
wanting to, but I haven't seen
can
it.
share with you the episode. There's a
Bits and pieces
download,
of it.
but we're not going to say where it is. We'll link it to you later.
Oh.
All right.
I still can't get over the fact that Ice-T rapped about being a cop killer and now he's playing one on fucking TV.
Yeah.
I can't get over that. Like,
Yeah, he's been known to be a cop, and now he's a cop.
You know, I so for some odd reason I always confused him with Ice Cube, so it was
Yeah.
very confusing for me.
Everyone does. It's like Ice-T and Ice Cube.
Ice-T, of course.
It was like, what? No, what?
It was funny how he got Roguestar asked him a question and then he blocked
Confused
him.
with Vanilla Ice. That's even worse. Confused with Vanilla Ice, people are gonna fucking die. there will be fucking street battles over that.
Vanilla
Yeah.
Ice was black?
No, he's from Jersey. What do you expect?
That's an early '90s example of cultural appropriation there.
Yeah.
I
The
find
funny
it
thing
funny.
about him is that he was saying so many lines. He played video games. I know that. It's just they try so hard to portray this whole thing as a great message to people about harassment, internet harassment, but now they just turned it into a bad joke.
Well, it just reminds me of, again, that there was that CSI New York one where you got two people typing on the keyboard at the same time because, yeah, that allows you to type twice as fast. Definitely. Bitch, get off the fucking keyboard. I'm trying to type here. This is not helping.
Yeah, especially they tried so
No,
hard.
this was always going to be the hurdle when we go up against the mainstream media, right? They're going to do the best thing that they can to portray their opponents as stupid. Look at what they did to the Tea Party in the United States. Like, that's just one example. I hate to say that as a way.
I know. I seen how the Tea Party acts. And it's like,
To be fair, they are pretty fucking ridiculous.
yeah, and I know they are ridiculous. The fact
But
that
that was
I
just an
remember,
example.
I remember they tried to vote for Sarah Palin, and the reason why, because she's a good-looking woman.
Yeah, but
Oh.
that was a bad example. I'm trying to think of something being misconstrued.
I think they misconstrued the idea of the porn star. You remember when you remember that porn parody of her.
Nailing Palin.
Yeah, nailing Palin. I think that's what happened.
Lisa Ann.
Lisa Ann.
She's a fantastically sexy
Yes.
older woman.
Too bad she retired.
Fantastic woman.
Too bad she retired. She was like 40 something.
Dude.
I
Pac-Man is
would
just
bang
trying
her.
to change the whole topic. Pac-Man like, wait, stop, let's move to another topic.
I know. He just was like, and he did. I think he did this almost the same with Christina Hoff Sommers.
Unbearable faggots.
Did
Yeah.
you do the Christina Hoff Summers interview before or after Vox?
I still
Yeah,
still
after I
haven't-
think.
Oh, okay, that would probably explain it then.
Yeah, I
Jesus,
saw
that's
that
so
interview.
tired.
They were basically talking about feminist history and such. I was like surprised by this.
Oh, well, Christina has actually lived through feminist history, unlike a lot of these fucking teenagers.
Hmm.
You know. And she tried to explain to him the issues that are going on. And it's like he kept asking her about the issue of why do you not believe that rape exists? And it's like it does exist, but
Was that an actual? Sorry, that was an actual question. Why do you believe rape doesn't exist? That's like saying, why do you believe murder doesn't exist? Why do you
I know.
believe theft doesn't exist?
I know it's like, you know, you could have asked her a simple question like, why do you believe this? Because in her defense is because people tend to falsely accuse
Well, this is the thing. What this is the ironic thing. All this rape culture thing has been a self-fulfilling prophecy, because people have been emboldened to basically say, "Oh, there's rape everywhere," and there really isn't. I mean, you go to somewhere like Somalia, yeah, you can make that fucking argument, but not in America, not in the United Kingdom, not
I
in
know,
fucking Sweden.
and people are being absurd about this.
I mean, I can understand all the sentiments behind it. Obviously, rape is a horrible, horrible thing. And here's the thing. Society already views it as one of the most horrible things you can do to people. The only problem is I think a lot of the problems stem from is that the lack of convictions, and that, you know what that needs? Just a few tweaks in laws and stuff. That's it. Not making everybody feel like they're a potential rapist or monsters. Like, that's not the case.
There is an inherent problem, though, is that date rape in particular is inherently problematic simply because it's often a he said, she said situation.
Yeah.
There's no objective way of getting evidence. With forced rape, there often is, because you can get examples of physical trauma. If you catch it early, it's like one of these things. It's like if you wait 30 years after the fact, like, oh, Bill Cosby raped me, and everyone says, oh, yeah, oh, he definitely raped me as well. Well, left it a bit fucking late there. You could have
I
said
got
it.
raped by Bill Cosby.
Yeah, Yeah, people will be saying rape is good for the economy thing. I think the media would do that as a stupid joke because I remember what they did with the whole riot thing. Remember?
Yeah,
They actually said the right was good for the economy.
the whole issue does conflate with Gamergate in terms of journalistic ethics and all that. It's like coming at this from a historical perspective, obviously. Looking at the big picture, Gamergate comes at an interesting time where feminism and public policies and everything are just and journalistic ethics are just colliding in one huge mega mess. It's interesting. Trying to sort through all these threads is amazingly interesting. I got thousands and thousands of bookmarks. I actually sent thousands of them to Milo to use as resources for his book and everything. I've been documenting everything, and it is fascinating.
Yeah, it is fascinating to see the whole story unfold here because it is interesting to see all the funny stuff and all the ridiculous moments in Gamergate.
The really interesting thing that has been pointed out a few times is like, why is it gamers? I mean, it's not like this shit hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
It's why is it the gamers where the buck stops?
Why isn't the rap music industry? Why isn't it the
what?
Because it's different. When it comes to the rap music, people just hear music, right?
Mhm.
But most people that hear music, they're not super into it. There's not like you're participating on it. You're just hearing. The same with movies, or I think movies are different. But in games, you play something. You make communities. You make events and stuff like that. And people can make friends from gaming. So it become a cultural thing, right?
a phenomenon,
Yeah,
as you
It
say?
become a cultural phenomenon. Because back then, when you were a kid, I was bullied, right? And the only way I can get friends that I know and people that I can rely to is through gaming.
I used to remember back in the old days, it used to be about the highest score on Pac-Man, the highest score on
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Donkey Kong. You remember they used to have those little video game tournaments where the highest score, if you got the highest score, you win. It's like a marathon.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So
Well,
this
there was
whole
that
thing happened.
documentary, which is quite an interesting one.
So the whole thing happened that a lot of journalists were attacking the gamers, right? They're telling, oh, they're sexist, they're misogynist, they're racist, because they generalizing all the gamers, and it kind of hurt personally, because gaming has been a part of life. They've been a part of us through our moment of living as a person, right? Gaming has been there. So all the people who are in Gamergate has a personal connection with gaming. And it kind of hurts when they tell us we're misogynist and we're horrible people.
Yeah, I used to
we're
remember.
not.
I used to remember when I played World of Warcraft, I was never that good. And then I remember raiding with somebody who I was more used to having a woman as the leader of the raiding group than I am. Because I used to remember playing with the leader, and she always was like the boss of the whole group. She always took the lead, and I was like, I didn't have an issue with her. Because she knew what she was talking about.
Are you sure that wasn't just because she was bossy and you were under her heel?
And Van Bossy. I've been called Bossy.
Yeah, Van Bossy.
It always sounds like you respected her because she actually knew what the fuck she was doing.
Yeah, she knew the fuck she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
She told us.
What we're seeing, of course, it's like I said, going back to all those issues, just collating into this one huge mass of knotted wool or steel wool or something. It's like you have so many issues intertwining for precisely the one reason. It's like bias. What is that one thread? Bias towards feminism, towards progressive ideals, towards a certain viewpoint of the world. Bias equals ethics equals Gamergate. It's like that one little thread connects everything.
Well, I still feel like my question is unanswered though, because why was I motivated? I mean, I've seen this shit go on before, and I was kind of like, whatever. And why was it when this stuff blew up? I mean, I've been playing games for a while, and I've said before, it's like I've been out gaming for a while because of various reasons. Like I had my shit nicked, which is you get all your shit nicked. It doesn't kind of work very well if you want to play games. And just because like a working full-time job and stuff. And now I feel much more motivated these days to actually play games, get involved with all that stuff, and I'm just most of it is due to the whole Gamergate thing. It's like why?
Could it be
That's kind
because
of what
of the
I'm trying-
internet? Like, think about it this way. Think about it this way. Less than 8 years ago, Twitter didn't exist. Facebook didn't exist as we know it. This mass communication medium that we have didn't exist as we know it now. The ability for ordinary people to get together and disseminate and analyze information is unprecedented throughout human history. It's like,
It is true, but I do remember being on news groups in like the late 80s, late 90s, talking about when Half-Life first came out in like 98. I remember being on like was it Alt Games Half-Life or whatever it was, talking about Half-Life and then like as you play through it and like, oh, I got to the end, what the fuck's going on with these alien shit? And it's like, oh, wait a second, the soldiers are going to kill you. I wasn't expecting that shit. Oh, isn't this fucking like you have that sort of weird claw sort of gun with the seekers and shit, all that stuff. I remember talking about that.
Take that, add millions and millions of new people onto that.
Yeah, well, true, probably.
All across the world. Just magnify the numbers. I think Gamergate happened. I think it was gamers because it hit a critical mass just when gaming is hitting peak form as like this cultural force within the wider cultural sphere. And you just, like I said, all these factors collating into one little messy little steel ball.
Yeah.
Yes, Heart of the Swarm.
Heart of the Storm is I love StarCraft 2.
Yeah, I bought it. I haven't played it yet. I have the disc sitting right here.
I played the original StarCraft.
Oh yeah, Brood Wars. That's
Yeah,
also,
the Brood Wars expansion was awesome. That's how it all started.
Yeah, I played that. God, again, that would have been back in the late 90s as well when I was playing that shit. Early 2000s, late 90s.
Oh no.
I remembered people had issues with the Koreans online.
Everyone has issues with Koreans. They're too fucking good.
No, it wasn't that. Back then, I remembered they had connection issues, and people were like just getting pissed off about it. Looks like we lost
Just the
Cats.
servers? Battle.net servers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they seem to have improved it a lot, and the thing I always love is the fact when you go into StarCraft, you can choose if you want to play in America. I play on the American servers because it's basically the time I'm playing works better, even though I'm in Europe. You've got the Europe servers, and then you've got Korea, and it's like it's not Asia, it's Korea.
Korea.
That just shows I just love that. I love the fact that it's just such a random thing. It's become a new religion in Korea, StarCraft. I don't know how the fuck that happened.
Because it's so competitive.
Yeah, but why did they pick it up so much? It's a curious thing for me, but I don't know.
Well, it was available, so they had to play it. It was actually addicting.
But this is the other thing. Is like, a lot of that's gone into the infrastructure. Them building massively fast internet infrastructure just for competitive fucking StarCraft, for Christ's sake. That's insane.
It's not just that. There was also other games as well that were being developed in Korea that you'd be surprised. They actually made competitive games. And they had this game, I forgot what it was called. I seem to remember this was on G4. This was on the G4 network, and they explained the history that this game was so popular that they had to. It was like Diablo. I forgot what this game was called though.
Diablo.
Yeah, it was like Diablo.
Just go with K
Diablo.
We need K games.
It was like
Are you
Diablo.
gonna get? I don't know what the fuck are you guys talking about. About the whole Milo and Randy thing.
Yes.
Yes.
What happened there? I saw them going back and forward, but I don't know the context about it.
Well, Randy wanted to faggot Shane.
That was it.
Randy
I don't know.
wanted.
Well, fuck knows. I
Randy
haven't seen
wants.
the exchange. I saw a couple of screenshots and shit on Twitter. I know Calendar, which I know some of you guys will know as well. That fucking cannon. He basically said, I've been watching the exchange between Nero and BSD girl. And it's like, at the moment, I'm sort of side with Nero, and it's like, then she tweets him, it's like, your whole, I can't remember, something like your whole, and I basically just tweeted it. I think it was, I think Sagan retweeted it, so I just said, that kind of deserves it. He's a horrible person, I know him. He deserves everything he gets off Randy or something like that.
A lot of people had
Obviously
issues with
joking,
Milo.
obviously.
I know there were some people that always had issues with Milo, but he's not. I don't really think of him as a bad guy. Just
Well,
more
I don't think that have issues. I mean, I mean, this is the thing. If you'd ever, I'd happily discuss like politics with him and shit like that. I mean, he has a lot of political views I don't agree with. I saw like his Newsnight stuff about teaching homosexual. It was it was a Newsnight thing. I don't know if you guys know about Newsnight, but sort of like a flagship BBC program, sort of late nights news magazine program, I guess you'd call it. Quite a prestigious one, although less so since Paxman, not Pac-Man, Paxman left the show because he was like the anchor, as I guess you'd call it, for years and years. Highly respected journalist, very tough individual. And stop beeping at me, it's true. And so basically, there was this whole thing with Nero on the program. There was a discussion about basically teaching primary school kids about homosexuality. I'm kind of okay with it. It depends how you approach it, really. It's like, obviously, a lot of conservatives say, "Oh, like this would be like gay propaganda or shit." I'm just like fine with it. It's just like it's about age appropriateness, and I'm kind of a big believer in sort of like not lying to kids, because I remember when I was in fucking primary school, it's like 8 or 9, 7, 8, 9, and like kids were talking about that shit. We didn't really know what we were talking about, but we knew there was something going on that the adults weren't telling us about. So there was a lot of fucking rumors and shit, and possibly. No, having solid facts might have dispelled some of the shit we were coming up with.
Oh, really?
Just sort of rumors and we just got. I mean, I don't know if that was the same.
He tried to educate children, basically.
Yeah, well, I guess there is a possibility. I mean, Milo's basic argument was like, I don't want to. If I had kids, and obviously he's a gay man, so I guess in that context, it could have been adopted or it could have been a surrogate or something like that. But he was basically saying, if I had kids, I wouldn't want them to hear about that stuff, which is fair enough. You could say. Like, they're not ready for that shit yet. My argument would be, possibly, you wouldn't talk to them about rimming or shit like that, but you might want to sort of...
slowly try to explain to them.
Slowly, drip feed, just not... When kids have questions, I wouldn't... Basically, what my thinking would be, I wouldn't want to fucking lie to kids about this shit. You don't necessarily want to educate them about condoms and shit. Like, you get some people like, you need to teach them about condoms when they're fucking 8. So I wouldn't know what the fuck you're talking about when I was 8 years old. But it's all about being appropriate. And my understanding is Norway does quite well with this. Apparently, because they have a very low teenage pregnancy rate, of which it could be attributed towards their attitude towards sex education. And if there's anything that's possibly a good indicator of how well you're doing in sex education, is probably what is your teenage pregnancy rate. Because if the idea is you want to give people education so they make sensible choices, that seems like a pretty good indicator whether you're getting it right or wrong.
That is a simple point there. Right now I'm just looking on Twitter, see what the heck happenings are happening. Because we know what happened.
No, I really want to see these Pac-Man issues.
Yeah, especially what happened to, let's see if I can get a good topic here.
Well, you find a topic. I've been trying to play Heist again, right?
Oh, really?
And the game keeps freezing every time I'm loading. Like it takes like a minute, 2 minutes to load on the first time, right? You press the game. and you cannot load the game on online. You have to go to single player first, because if you load to online directly, it will keep loading and never end loading. It's fucking annoying. So you have to load off from single player, right? You load off from single player, and then you go to the heist, right? Sometimes when you load online, the game freezes on the building. Like, it shows the transition for the building, and it stays there forever. So you have to quit the game. You have to load the game again. And you have to try at least 2 times. That's going to take at least, like, fucking 20 minutes if you keep frozen on you. Now, people to play some heist, right? It froze 3 times on the heist loading. So now we have to do the single player loading, the online loading, and heist loading again. And it froze me 3 times. And then no, this is from Grand Theft Auto on PS3.
From PS3,
Okay.
yeah, he's having technical issues with.
So I play heist. Finally, we're on a mission. I fucked up the mission in one part. I put the truck in a fucking lake accidentally. And I'm like, shit, we have to reload. Okay, we reload, and the game freezes again.
Might be a connection issue.
No, it's not a connection. It's happening to everybody.
Yeah, because I know PS3 had issues with the same thing with whatchamacallit, that one game, Mag. You might remember Mag. Remember Mag?
No.
You never heard of Mag?
No.
It was on PS3 a long time ago, and they had issues with freezing up every time.
So I had to load up Grand Theft Auto 5 more than 20 times in the span of 2 hours, and we haven't finished the heist. We haven't finished one setup. I'm like, fuck this, I'm not gonna finish this shit.
Yeah. I know, it's stressful when you're trying to play that game.
I'll tell you what, this has kind of reminded me of a problem I had today, because I work as a software developer by day, not in games or shit, unfortunately, or possibly fortunately, because I hear they have it a lot worse than what I'm doing. But it reminded me, it's one of these fucking random things. Oh, this shit doesn't work if you do this unless you bounce that and you take that off and you go, why is this shit working now? That's the worst. When something works and you don't know why it works, except you do some random shit and you go, no, I'm not happy with that. I need to understand what the hell is going on. But I work in financial software, which is kind of more like, you better get that fucking shit right or you lose money and people will fucking try to stab you in the face.
Wait, the Avengers is out?
Sorry?
The new Avengers is out?
It's actually out May 1st. It's early reviews.
Okay. Because I haven't followed that at all.
Yeah, there's something interesting going on here. Let's see. Gamergate meetup. Join me, Christina Haas Summers, IRL, Washington D.C. on May 1st. Yeah, I understand that they're trying to do that. What was it again? The Congress.
Was it? You're not talking about the Zoe Quinn one?
Yeah.
To the,
congressional briefing.
The caucus. Yeah, something like that. Almost like a press sort of thing, basically.
Yeah, they're trying to reach out to the government about this. I know that Christina and Mile will probably try to convince them.
I remember tweeting. I want it to go through. I want Obama to say Gamergate is the worst terrorist group since ISIS. I want to hear those words, because once that's said, this is fucking gold. Right, seriously, because that said, everyone's going to hear Obama saying that shit. The best press ever for Gamergate. Seriously.
We're the worst terrorists. We haven't killed no one. We haven't
Exactly.
We haven't even beheaded anybody.
Yeah, and we're terrorists anyways.
I hate to use the word terrorists, but this is what these guys are.
What the fuck's going on? And as it has happened every single time something's gone on, people come along and go, oh, that's nothing like what I was told on the fucking news.
No, that's so different, because they use the term terrorist, because terrorist is silencing someone through violence, right? That's what ISIS does, right?
Well, actually, think about it. Terrorism and rape, 2 words that have been devalued.
Yeah, they've been devalued because they use it so much for fucking everything. Like I see the word rape, and now it makes me laugh. And these people are so fucking evil for making me laugh at the word rape.
This is the thing. How else can you react when? I mean, did
They
any of
made
you
me
guys
agree with fucking Fox News.
I know that's the worst thing, right?
I'm dying.
You find yourself going, when Fox News is the only reasonable fucking news outlet, please kill me.
Well, from what I heard, that whole congressional thing was basically just you can apparently get a congressional hearing with enough funds, so you just have to pay and you can get a hearing in Congress.
Well, Zoe Quinn doesn't know anyone with a lot of daddy
Alex
money.
Lifshitz is rich, apparently.
Oh, no, he doesn't exist.
What are you doing?
I'm dying.
You're
well,
dying?
die faster, would you?
Yes, I agree with Fox News. The word rape me you laugh. Terrorism is a joke. Fox News is the only outlet that's being fair. Kill me.
Balanced.
Yeah.
Fair and balanced now. I'm surprised.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
shocking.
Something.
After the debacle that was Sun News up here in Canada.
Oh yeah, well, this is the thing. You've got a different Sun, but you might know our Sun News in the UK, the Murdoch-owned one, obviously. Yeah. And well, the feminists had a thing with a couple of months back with the hashtag page 3.
Yeah, the boobs. Yeah, and then Sun 3 ran page 3 with the boobs woman. They said, "Just kidding, we got the boobs back." It was like, aha. So like I said, I've been documenting everything. This is a worldwide thing, not just America, not just Canada.
Well, actually,
It's a worldwide.
Did you see then today? There was some guys who shill protein for muscle building, and there was a thing where I can't remember the name of the people, but someone tweeted, "Oh, this is disgusting," because they said, "Have you got a beach ready body?" And it's like encouraging people with the faces to say, "Every body's ready for the beach." It's like, well, you want to be a fat ass on the beach, that's fine. It's like, I haven't got the best body in the world, I know that. But if I wanted to, like, work out and do all that shit and get a six-pack and all that shit, what's wrong with that?
When my dad hit my mom, I was raped.
Oh yeah,
That's
now.
true. That's absolutely
Oh yeah,
true.
here's something else. 40 minutes ago, Ralph. You guys talked about Ralph.
Oh, what about him now?
Yeah, apparently Raven Khan security is going to probably not let him in
On what?
at a convention.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
On the charge of being on the charge of being skeletal.
Yeah, Raven Khan.
Why? Well, he
'Cause
has
he's
done.
skeletal. Look at his fucking face.
Yeah.
All he has to do is tan himself and no one will recognize him.
I know, Raven Khan, I don't know what's going on. It's like we're hearing a lot of confusion in our experience. Expectations from staff and guests, attendees, to be clear. Yeah, they pretty much they're pretty much hearing from both sides of the issue that they're having right now at a convention. It's in Richmond, Virginia, the longest running science convention, fantasy convention that's been around.
We just point out that Ralph does smoke quite a bit of weed, so he'll probably be quite passive anyway.
Yeah, and he's going to go there. He's going to do a panel there for some reason. And the funny thing is they threatened him that they will have security ready for him for some reason.
Why would you do that to the biggest loudmouth on the internet?
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. We're being elevated. I mean, fucking hell, being elevated to, like, seriously. It makes me feel I'm a godlike. I can destroy entire nations with a whisper. It's like, what the fuck are you talking? You're making us. I feel like a giant. Like, what the fuck? So we're just people, for Christ's sake. Stop getting fucking excited. It's not that difficult.
I just don't know. He kind of explained that he paid his money to go to the convention. He hasn't been to the convention yet, and already you're just tweeting at him like you're not allowed to come in. We have
just hope he
security
didn't
ready
spend
for
10 grand on it.
Oh my god. If Ralph turns into the next Honey Badgers incident, I'm just gonna facepalm and go like, what?
I would laugh because technically that would be the worst possible situation for him.
Well, I did actually
You
think on
laugh
the,
at his tears.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking on the honey badgers thing. It's like, is there any way we could just basically make all these these cons just make them financially unviable, and then just set up our own
Yeah,
one to
because
say
he
actually
replied.
everyone actually is welcome, even the people who disagree. That you're fucking welcome. Just have a good time. Don't be an arsehole. Shouldn't be too difficult,
I
really.
know, and it's like you realize he hasn't done anything wrong, and already he's like he paid his way through, which I agree. He paid his money to go have a panel there, and he said, and you're trying to tell him he has no right to go there at the panel.
Mm-hmm.
And he put, well, what is this thing? It's like free speech as long as you agree with whatever people are saying.
Well,
It's
I
like,
used
no.
to remember there was a convention that a guy told me about in Canada where they had a fursuit, an incident with a panel that was like about fursuits, and it was so funny.
Well,
Oh,
as
man.
in what furries? Furries have.
Yeah, and apparently they had
What's the best kind of fursuit
one
to
of
have?
the guy explained that he had an issue with one of the panelists talking about fur holes in fur.
The yipping purposes.
Yes, for having to have for sexual purposes.
To have
having
sexual intercourse, just spit it out.
Yes, I hate to say that. But he had an issue with it because the panel kind of, were they trolling? Because they were having.
No, well, no. I mean, is that any more or less kinky than like BDSM or something like that, right? Let people enjoy themselves in whatever way they feel.
I know.
Most
I wouldn't want to, disrupt them, but it's just so funny. The guy got
I think
upset.
the main thing is if you're really going at it, you're going to be fucking hot and sweaty. It's not going to be pleasant afterwards.
Hey, I gotta say,
fucking heavy shower.
I know some pretty damn attractive furries. I just gotta say.
Are we having sex now?
Virtual sex.
Okay.
ASL.
Yeah, and the guy kind of found it disturbing what they were talking about, and kind of told the con to not bring him back ever again.
No, the honey badgers incident is. I just gotta say, they're pursuing legal action, and I hope they win because that was sickening.
Yeah,
Like,
because that was very brutally dishonest. That was
Yes.
very dishonest of what they're doing, because if you try to do that just shows how very dishonest you are, lying to people about some group who seemed like they had a very good conversation and they were not trying to harm anybody, and here you go lying to everybody on Twitter that, oh, these people harassed me and victimized me. Patriarchy, send money to my Patreon, bitches, come on.
Yeah, and they were just libeling them, saying that they were harassing people, that they were disrupting the convention, or that they got in through fraudulent means. It just you know what? At a certain point, someone needs to pursue legal action.
I think most people
like-
should because that's libel for lying, and also the fact that you cannot write an article and say that these people were horrible people and get away with it.
Well, I don't know how are the laws, because I know the UK laws on libel are quite ridiculous. You can pretty much
I'm
anyone
pretty
in the
sure
world
they
can
have
sue anyone
British
else.
laws in Canada, because I know that the Queen.
No. What we have our own statutes. We have our own set of laws. I'm not a legal expert or anything. Don't quote me
That's fine.
on anything specifically. But
Yeah, we don't
the
control
libel
the
laws. The libel laws. I think I looked this up, and I'm just quoting off memory. I think it's pretty similar to what the States has. You have to pretty much prove malicious intent.
Yeah, it's
Behind
quite
the
interesting in the UK, which is the libel laws are kind of the opposite. It's one of the few. I mean, when we sort of think about that, sort of listen and believe, the sort of you want to basically turn habeas corpus on its head. It's kind of interesting. The libel laws in the UK are kind of like that. It's like if you accuse someone of libel, you kind of have to prove that you didn't libel someone, which is why you'll find a lot of cases of American Hollywood celebrities, if they get some newspaper that says something they don't like, they'll go to the UK to fight the law, because that's another weird thing. You can pretty much be anywhere. and you can come to the UK and have your fucking trial. It's insane. I don't know how the fucking UK does it. But I know the last one I did follow was about anti
yes,
sort
it
of
worked.
anti-vax in the UK. Because we had the whole autism anti-vax thing. I don't know if you know, it originated in the UK. Dr.
I
Andy
do
Wakefield.
know that the Blockbot creators in the UK have been successfully backed the fuck off by legal action because of the libel.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's one of the things I said to some guys. So it's like, well, I've been put in the block list for no other reason than following other people. And it's like, that's, and then being implied that I'm one of the worst harassers in Twitter. It's like, come on, bitch. I've been here. I mean, I could have done, if I wanted to be the worst harasser on Twitter, I would fucking succeed. I'd be a dedicated motherfucker. But no, because I'm not interested in that shit. I'm not a teenager anymore.
I love how the Blockbot team just basically tried to make the case that them pursuing legal action itself was harassment. And they also got BTFO'd.
Oh man, they really,
bizarre.
it's based on feelings now. They're trying to bring feelings into the case.
This is why it's so important. The law doesn't, because you can't have a justice system based on feelings. Because everyone has fucking feelings. I could say I'm fucking upset all the time. I'm a bit depressed. So all these people I see on the tube or whatever, public transport, they make me upset in the morning because they don't like act as respectfully as they could in the tube. So I'll sue everyone on the fucking Jubilee line in the morning when I'm going to work. Yeah, I'll have or I could arrange a class action lawsuit and I'll say, do you feel like you've been hard done by your fellow commuters? It's like, yeah, I'll get a whole bunch of those people. We can sue the other half of the people on the tube and we'll win, I don't know, 20 pence out of everyone. And it will cost a couple of £1 million to have that legal action.
It does
that's
serve.
kind of ridiculousness.
It does serve as an interesting counterpoint, though, to the American experience and Canadian experience, too, with the GG auto blocker. If this had happened in the UK, the GG auto blocker wouldn't exist at this moment, and Randy Harper would be sued into oblivion. Right now, as it stands, she gets to get away with quite a hell of a lot.
I'm not
she's
even that
dragging
bothered.
down the entire gaming industry with her.
This is the thing. I'm not even bothered by its existence, but it's like, for fuck's sake, people, be honest. It's like, oh, I just don't want to hear these other people's point of view because fuck them. I like living in my little bubble. I go, fair enough. I think you're an idiot, but do whatever the fuck makes you happy. I don't really give a shit at the end of the day. But if you're like, oh no, I want to have a conversation, I say, no, you're being hypocritical, and I can't stand that shit.
Yeah, and the fact is, people are just. Well, I just don't know why people would be this dishonest about something and try to, push away the issue, trying to say that this is wrong, and they should have never been dishonest. If they honestly believe in something and they want to be honest about it, they should be honest about the fact that they should be honest in the first place.
Yeah.
If they honestly believe in their ideas, more importantly, and rape culture exists and all that other stuff, they should be honest. Straight up.
You don't need that's an important thing, because if you've got the best idea, you don't need to block other people from speaking. Like when I hear things about hate speech and stuff, it's like, no, let these people speak, because if we live in a good culture where basically people are good, you don't have to worry about that shit, because all you do is say, let these people speak their complete shit, and I'll take it down, and because basically I look at it this way, then I know these people, if you let people speak their minds and they talk a lot of shit, then I know which people I'm going to say I don't really want to associate with these people.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah, and they don't have to listen to it all the time. It's like they could just go walk. There's the door. Walk.
It's true.
It's not like
Gamergate isn't a fraction of what Gamergate is about, is keeping these people out of gaming because of the damage that they can provably do if they're just allowed to spew their hateful bullshit.
They think, but here's the thing: they think that we're trying to push women away from gaming, and that's not even true. I
wouldn't even
I
say
would
out of
like
game,
to have
though.
more
It'd be
women
more-
developers, but the problem is, are women? The question is, are women interested in developing games?
Interesting point I have to make before you continue, though.
Go ahead.
I actually did some research on this. I was talking with admissions director at a college, and I specifically asked him, what is the percentage of women applying for game design programs at your school? And this gentleman said 15%.
It doesn't sound unusual to me because
Yeah.
I went on a computer science degree, and it was about 10 women out of 150 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And
Here's the other
not
thing, though.
unusual.
Here's the other thing, though. The programs around the game design program itself, like animation or like anything that could relate to game design, sort of like an abstract way, or animation. What was the other one? Computer engineer. Not programming.
Software
for sure, because
engineer.
Programming probably was 50-50 split. But he did stress that the 15% of women he said that were applying did seem more passionate than the guys who were applying to the program. So the problem that we're seeing is these people want 50-50 splits in gaming industry and gaming development and everything, but the numbers just wouldn't support that. They would have to take 50% and take it from that tiny 15% share and try and like, okay, you're promoted above this other huge, massive, talented people who may be more talented than you just because you're a woman, basically. That's what would have to happen.
This is an interesting thing from my experiences, because I basically went to a university that was basically, it is a STEM university. They don't do humanities subjects apart from like little annexes. It's like you can do little things, but they're like side courses. They're not, as Americans say, they're not a major. Well, obviously, we don't have a major sort of minor system. So,
People are getting upset with David
do odd
Pacman.
courses on that sort of stuff. But of the women, about 50-50 in the medical sciences, like biochemistry, biology, medical, like people becoming doctors. That's basically
Even
about
nursing.
50-50. Next highest as far as women would be mechanical engineering, sort of civil engineering, mechanical engineering, stuff like that. Chemistry. The lowest ones are basically in sort of electrical engineering, computer science, things of that genre. Maths actually did quite well, which is interesting. In physics, I know quite a lot of girls from my university did physics. So it's interesting. Computer science was one of the lowest. Although a lot of the girls that I did know, of the few there were, they seem to be much more interested in maths. A lot of computer science that you do is basically maths. There is obviously the computer element to it, but a lot of it is mathematical. So the interesting thing is a lot of them probably would have got on just as well on their maths course, where there was quite a few women. I mean, probably about, like I say, probably about 5% computer science and probably more like 35 maths, I would say. And they could have easily done maths degrees instead, and I think they would have probably just done quite as well there. And it's interesting talking to them because a lot of them, in fact, not just a lot of the girls, a lot of the guys as well, a lot of them said the reasons why they were doing the course was because their parents said, well, you should do computer science. It was interesting because I was basically my own man by the time it's like, I've been involved with fucking computers since I was like 7 years old. Basically, I've been fucking programming away on those. And I was considering doing electrical engineering, and I started off in sort of a mix of, they called it information systems engineering. It's kind of a mix of electrical engineering and computer science. And after that, I just decided, no, I'm going to go pure computer science. That's what I changed to. And I just think it's interesting, the number of people who were like, no, I did computer science because my parents, you could tell a lot of the, there was quite a lot of international students where I went. It was in London, where I am now. And there were a lot of international students, and a lot of them seemed to be, it was more about their parents' decision. So obviously they had pushy parents. You know, the sort of pushy parent syndrome where it's like,
either being a doctor or a
it's interesting that you say that stuff, though, because when I was talking with this admissions director, he was saying that his theory was that the reason why fewer women were going to game design programs is because of social pressures from their parents. I think what we're seeing is a bit of generational lag with the pace of change we're getting through society and the social change that is expected to go along with that. I think the social change is lagging behind the technological changes that we're going through significantly, and that's why we're seeing such disparities in the amount of women in game design and computer sciences,
To be
maths.
fair, I probably would say if I had a son or daughter, I'd probably say no, don't do game design. Even though I would say do a more general course, do mathematics or computer science or physics or something like that, because you can turn your hand to game design quite easily. You don't need a specialised course in university for that, but you might want to go into finance or. I mean, just because they're just good general degrees, they give you a big overview. There's skills that are transferable, which is a quite important thing. I would definitely discourage them from doing gender studies.
But I was just pointing out that it is a theory.
No,
I think that would apply generally to this whole situation. And I think that's the reason why a lot of these people that we're seeing railing against Gamergate are so frustrated, is because why isn't the change happening already? It's like they want it now. They don't want it later.
I can see the lag, and I did discuss this because there's a graduate in my team at work at the moment who's a girl. She's actually from Abu Dhabi, and I talked to her. Actually talked about this stuff, and she was arguing along the sort of similar lines about like more to be interested. There's more promotion. I was like, well. I'm kind of along the lines of that most women aren't interested in this stuff. And for the longest time, you see, and kind of relate, again, it's kind of an anecdotal thing, but I was very interested in computers from a young age. My sister wasn't so much. She's about 3.5 years younger than me. But I always wanted to have someone to play with. So I was always trying to encourage my sister to play games with me. So in no way was I discouraging her from like getting interested in computer stuff. But years later, when I got into PCs and stuff, I used to I was earning a bit of money doing paper rounds and stuff. I'd save it up and I'd buy old PCs for about £300 or so. That's about how much I could earn in a reasonable amount of time. And I got enough money, basically working hard, to buy a PC, get a modem on 56k modem, download stuff off the internet at a ridiculously slow speed compared to what we have today. Buy a couple of games, play a few online. 1p a minute, gaming. My God, you count the fucking seconds when you're playing it like that. But yeah, I basically used to give her my old pieces. Like, I can't sell this shit on, so I just give it to her. And like, she kind of like enjoyed that. But even then, I didn't play with her. I had like a fucking like 30 foot serial cable. You know, what you used to before you even had Ethernet, you'd have a serial cable linking up the computers and shit. And I guess it worked because years later she's got an Xbox, and she's loving the Halo series. So, yeah,
I remember those
worked,
days.
yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut it here, and then we can continue on to the next one. I'm just gonna give it a break here, and then we'll continue on. All right.